Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be starting our beginner series of Warcaster-Neo Mechanika and how to play. We're going to be focusing on the mod downloads that you'll need for Tabletop Simulator, where to get them, which ones you need, um, where to do your list building for Tabletop Simulator or in real life games when we get to that point, or if some of you are already able to do that. Um, Go over kind of creating our force within the tabletop simulator mod. We'll kind of talk about what kind of forces you want to do as far as some of the different scenarios that are available currently in the game. We've got a couple different rule sets as far as the pendulum format, or we just had the first contact first contact series that came out that had a different rule set as well. So we'll kind of go over that stuff. We'll go over how to place forces into a bag on Tabletop Simulator, and then creating a box as well to put that in, and then save everything together. And that way you have multiple lists within a single box, and then you can also put your cipher deck in there. And we'll kind of go over the best way to make your cipher deck, especially with the new pendulum rules, how that's going to work, and having a sideboard if you're not familiar with any of that. And we'll put everything in the box. We'll name the things in the box and then save the box as well. So we've got Steam pulled up. We're going to go in here. If you don't know what Tabletop Simulator is, you can literally just go in, type it into Steam. You can see it's on sale right now, I think. Yeah, 10 bucks. It's on the winter sale. So you've got a couple days left. Well, by the time you see this, you'll have 1 day left. It's $10 right now. Is it worth it? Yes, it is well worth it in my opinion. There are so many other games that are not just Warcaster-Neo Mechanika that you can play on this. If you play X-Wing, if you play Legion, if you play Marvel Crisis Protocol, if you play Aristea, if you play any of the games that you see here on my channel, they are on here. There are also many other games that are not on my channel that you can find on here. So once you've got Tabletop Simulator downloaded and installed, you can go over here to your library, click on Tabletop Simulator, come over here to Workshop, and then once this loads up, you can click here where it says Search Tabletop Simulator. Click here, type in Warcaster-Neo Mechanika. Boom. Don't put a equal sign in there. So this is what you'll see when all of this kind of comes up. It's a lot of different stuff. No, you do not need it all. In fact, you don't need most of this. What you do need is, see this one here that says Sorlo? Click his, because you're going to need both of these mods. So what we've got here is the full battle table. Everything that you need will be on this for a full battle. A skirmish table, everything you need for the skirmishes will be on here. These two tables were made by Sorlo, as you can see up here. He is a part of the Discord channel that I'm a part of, where a lot of the tournaments take place. He and Sneaky Buffalo pretty much run any and all of the tournaments that come out of there. So once you've got the full table and the skirmish table, I would highly recommend coming back out here. I don't remember if Sneaky stuff is here. These are some of the old things. But if you just, okay, so here you see Warcaster map collection. I'm going to put all these links in the description below, so that way you can find them a little easier. But you want Sneaky's map collection. So when you find his stuff, click the little plus symbol. It'll bring up his map collection. And then we're going to go ahead and load up into Tabletop Simulator, and I will show you what we're looking to do there. But first, we're going to go create our actual team that we're going to bring into this. You're going to go to architect.net. This is the website that we all use for the different formats and stuff that are currently available within Warcaster. So in the main book that comes with the starter packs, you've got, primary missions, skirmish missions, and then your secondary missions. You'll look in the back of the book, you've got page 48 through, 48 through like 60, it seems. It tells you kind of where all the missions are, what they do. You've got absolute pressure, which is a primary mission. You've got decay constant, which is a primary mission. Orders of magnitude, strange matter, surface tension, uncertainty principle. Those are your primary missions. So when they say primary missions, that means full size. This 15.3, what this means is, so I'll just do March Worlds for now. So you've got 15 normal units you can take. So solos, there's your solos for the March Worlds. Here are your warjacks, and then your squads here. And then your vehicles also count down here. Your heroes, you have hero slots. You have 3 specific hero slots. Now, you can take any of these 15 and then still have 3 heroes specifically set off to the side. So if you want to take, 2 weavers, 2 engineers, 2 hunters, 2 fire teams, 2 heavies, you want 2 dusk wolves, a strike raptor, and you've got 2 spots left, right? So you want a razorbat, and then you want 4 heroes. Okay, cool. You can have 4 heroes. You can do Artemis Fang, you can do Fiddler and Co., you can do Wojtek, and you can do Corvus. So I'm just going to pick some random stuff here. We'll worry about this in a minute. We're not worried about any of this. I just want to show you what this looks like for now. So the primary mission, which is full battle force. So you've got 2 weavers, 2 engineers, 2 hunters, 2 ranger fire teams, 2 heavy supports, a dusk wolf, a strike raptor, a razorbat, which is the new vehicle, Artemis Fang, who's a hero, Fiddler and Co., who is a hero, but also a vehicle, and then Wojtek, Sudal, and Corvus. See, these are all tagged as heroes. So if we got rid of one of these heroes, you could replace them with any of these weaver, engineer, hunter, dusk wolf, strike raptor, fire teams, heavy support, infiltrators, or another razorbat normal vehicle. All the stuff here that is not marked hero will be redeployable if it dies during your match. Any of the heroes, any of these named characters here, if they die, they are done in the game. Now, they can be recalled, and we'll go over that in the future. But basically, that'll be like if they've got damage on them, you're afraid they're going to get killed, so you decide not to deploy any characters out of a void gate that turn. You can choose instead to recall one of these heroes and bring them back to your bench. We'll go over how all that works in the future. Just know that that is a possibility. That is a way to bring them back into your bench and then be able to deploy them again out of a void gate at a later date. Now, this is a full battle force. Let's go back and I'll show you what the other ones have to do with and why they're there. Okay, so we're back at the front page here. You got intro, which is 6-0. So now we know this means how many warjacks, solos, squads, vehicles, and heroes you can have. So any of those 5 unit types are all a part of this 6, this 8, this 11, and this 15. The second number is only heroes. period. Nothing else can be put in those. You do not have an extra slot for hero in an intro game. In skirmish, which is the not secondary, but the not called primaries. I see this is what it's called, an actual skirmish mission. That's what drives me nuts. So you've got primary missions that are technically full size battle forces or primary missions, but it's not called primary sized, which just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so skirmish missions, there is a couple different formats. The pendulum rules, the mid-size, which is this 11-2, is also counted as a modified skirmish. So in pendulum, this mid-size 11-2 build is played on the same size map as a skirmish map, which is a 30 by 30. In one of the other formats, this mid-sized is played on a full-size battle mat, which is not a 30 by 30. It's actually the full 48 by 48. Yeah. Yeah, so 4 foot by 4 foot. Why does this matter? As far as starting out, I would highly recommend sticking to skirmish or intro. Either of these two. Intro is very straightforward. You know, you're always going to want a weaver. You're always going to want an engineer. You're always going to want a hunter. At least one of these in both skirmish or intro. I would always have at least one of these in your list, period. Intro, I would probably do a Dusk Wolf and a Strike Raptor, or not even do a Strike Raptor. You really don't have to. If you're just doing intro with like what's in your battle box, you can just do a Ranger Fire team and another Ranger Fire team. So a lot of times that's what this is people want to play a game with what's in their battle box. This is pretty much what you get in your battle box. You usually don't have a second, take it back. You do not have a secondary Ranger Fire team in your battle box. So you wouldn't even have enough to do that, but you could buy one more of the squads, because you will get a Weaver, you'll get a solo hero, you'll get a light warjack, and you'll get the main squad. So you would have this Weaver, Engineer, Hunter, a Dusk Wolf, and then one of these Ranger Fire teams. So you would have 5 out of the 6. You can get one of these Ranger Fire teams for like anywhere from $12 to $20, depending on where you find it on the internet, and that gives you your 6 to start out with. If you back the Kickstarter, you probably have this at the very least, I would assume, because there were stretch goals. And I know, like, instead of 2 of these Ranger Fire teams, I could run 1 Ranger Fire team and I could run another Hunter, because I got another Hunter. So my 6 could be this, you know, a Weaver, Engineer, 2 Hunters, a Fire team, and a Dusk Wolf. That's plenty to run with for your first time. If we go back, skirmish, same type of deal. I would always do a Weaver, an Engineer, a Hunter. Now on this, you're going to get a hero. Don't forget, you also get 2 more. Depending on the scenario, you may want a vehicle, you may not. Marcher Worlds, for skirmish, the vehicle is not super important. I would steer absolutely clear of taking any more than 1 hero, period, in this format for the 8-1. You want as many redeployable units as possible. Let me just put it that way, especially in skirmish. So I would take 2 Dusk Wolves, a Strike Raptor, a Fire team, and a heavy support, and then I'm more than likely going to take Artemis, because I like Artemis. But so that's what that would look like. You get a Weaver, Engineer, Hunter, Dusk Wolf, another Dusk Wolf. Now, build wise for the Dusk Wolves, what would you do? A lot of people take one that is more melee focused, but can do both melee and ranged, and one that's more ranged focused, but can do both ranged and melee. It really depends on the way that your playstyle is. There are viable options for both routes in most of the factions, and we will get into that deeper within future episodes, but that's not what this episode is about. So we've gone over how to do your list builder. You can actually do a print on this. So like you Control P and save it as a PDF, and it'll actually save everything you did, and you can put it somewhere. And then you can use that when we go back into the main mod here to put your list together. So we're going to boot up Tabletop Simulator. We're going to jump into a game real quick. I'll show you how to find that mod after you've downloaded it, and we'll go from there. So once you've got Tabletop Simulator open, you're going to click Create. Depending on what you're doing, if you're just putting your battle list together for a game, I'd click Single Player. You can come into the workshop. If you missed that, right here, this little blue icon with the little hammer and wrench deal, kind of look through here. I've got a bunch of other stuff on here. The first thing you want to do, if you're just building a force, is go grab either the skirmish table or the full table, whichever one. All right, so we're in Tabletop Simulator. We're going to put together a quick force. I'm going to show you how to and what a cypher deck consists of. You can actually come over here, left click this little dot. It brings everything out here for you. You've got your army box, your Marcher World specific cypher cards, your stat cards if you want to use those instead of all this over here, which is all the different factions compiled together from like the Kickstarter stuff. You've got your heroes here, fire team, support, heavy support, your infiltrators. These are all of your squads. Your warder is your attachment. It goes, one of these warders goes on each one of these squads. Mantlets, every faction has mantlets. You can have up to 4 of them in play at one time. There's your weaver, your engineer, and your hunter, so your solos, dusk wolf, and strike raptor, your light warjack, your heavy warjack, your razorbat, which is your vehicles, and you've got Corvus, Voitek, Sudal, Artemis Fang, and Jack's Redblade. They're your heroes. And actually, if you come over here and look, you've also got, nope, that's ISA. Where's Marcher Worlds? It's past all this. Okay, so here we go. You got your melee, your weaver, your hunters. This is your Razorbat. Fiddler and Co. is your other hero that's also a vehicle that you saw on the list builder. So you would also pull out this Razorbat and just name it that. But we're going to build a quick 8-1 list here based off of what we did on the list builder. So you're going to click Objects. You're going to come in here to Components, Tools, and pull out a bag. And I'm going to right click, name this 8-1 Skirmish, and then we're going to say Boiling Point. That's one of the missions that you can pick from. It's a skirmish mission. So I typically build all of my lists that are kind of mission specific. We're going to pull out Ranger team with a warder, drop them in there. I want a heavy support. Oops, one too many. You can just delete that. So there's the heavy support with the warder. We don't want infiltrators. We need 4 of these, so I don't forget them. I want 1 weaver, 1 engineer, 1 hunter. Some people run 2 engineers. It's totally up to you. So we've got all those. We want 1, 2 dusk wolves, and strike raptor, and then Artemis Fang. Now, your Dusk Wolves and your Strike Raptor. Most people will right click, they'll put in like a Scout Dusk Wolf, and you'll put in your weapons, so like your shoulder weapon, and then your 2 arm weapons. So arm 1, arm 2, whichever they are. You're going to do the same for the Strike Raptor. It has 2 shoulders, 2 arms, and you'll put your Cortex that you picked right in front of that. That way you know exactly what the builds look like. And you're just gonna bloop, bloop, dump them on there. You can right click, hit search. We're gonna move these mantlets. Maybe we won't. Just trying to move them all to the back. There we go. So you've got your Ranger Fire team and a warder. So there's 1 heavy support and a warder. There's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there's your 1 with Artemis Fang. So you've got a basic skirmish build out here for Martial Worlds. Like I said, this is just kind of showing you what it looks like to put everything in here, get everything saved, and that way you have it all available. You're going to pick this bag up. Again, just left click, hold it down until it picks the whole bag up, drop it in there. So now that's in your bag or in your box. You can right click and see. You'll end up with different mission builds for skirmish, different mission builds for primary missions, different mission builds for modified skirmish as well, all in this same box for each different army that you play. It totally depends on what you do. And then I'll show you how to save all this after we've got our cypher cards in. Just very quickly, creating your cypher deck, you need 3 of each one of these colors. So you need 3 overdrive cards, 3 fury, 3 geometric, 3 harmonic. And you've also got faction specific cards that come out of this box when you click the little buttons. So each faction has 4 specific cards that they get. Totally up to you if you want to put those in there, and we'll go over all of these in the future as well. So we're just gonna toss all these. I don't know why these aren't stacking. I toss 3 of these onto here so I can show you kind of what this looks like. 3 reds, 2 more blues. So most people play between 12 and 13 cipher deck or cipher cards in their deck. You can have up to 15. Once again, most people play 12 to 13. So you get 12, grab them all. You can, I forgot to show you this, you can right click, you can change the name to like Martial Worlds, Skirmish, main. Now, why would I name it main? Because in certain formats, and just like when building your army, there is a new format that is like their Privateer Press's tournament format for Warcaster. It's called Pendulum. It uses a main force, which would be what we just built here, this 8-1 skirmish force. And then you can also pick one of these squad units, one of these solos, one of these vehicles or warjacks, and then a hero. So you get 1 of each, so you'll have 4 on your sideboard. And that can go into a separate bag. So if we wanted to do that real quick, back to this, components, bag. Let's grab the infiltrators. Keep grabbing one too many. Drop those in there. Let's say we want another engineer just in case we want to swap somebody out. And let's say we want a Razorbat just in case. And we want Corvus just in case. So you'd right click, name, Martial World, 8-1, sideboard. Done. Grab that, drop it in. Same thing for these. You just take 1 of each color. You're going to build your sideboard deck. And the way the sideboard works is you can swap out 1 or all the stuff that's on your sideboard model wise and cipher deck wise for whatever is in your main deck or your main army. The thing is, it has to be a 1-for-1 swap, even with the cipher cards. So like if you wanted to bring, you know, this red and this blue in, you couldn't just remove one and put both of those in. It doesn't work like that. It's a straight up 1-for-1. So you have to have the minimum. So if you have multiple color, like if you have 4 of the Furies in here, you could pull one of the Furies out and you could add in this blue, and that's it. You know, you could change something like that, but you at least still have to have the minimum. So I would leave that as main, come down here, Control A, copy that, right click, keeps doing that, do that, make it sideboard, done. Take this, drop it in, take this, drop it in, right click, that's there, search, there you go. There's your skirmish sideboard, there's your main, sideboard, main, and that's how it would look just to build an 8-1 skirmish force for the pendulum format. Pretty simple. We'll go over the weapons and stuff that you can put onto the like the warjacks and specific stuff like that. We're gonna break it down per faction as well as the cipher deck. We'll go into more detail for each faction in the upcoming videos. Trying to get these out every Tuesday and Thursday for this series. It's probably not going to happen this week. This will probably be the only one that goes up. So starting next week, you can look forward to these videos every Tuesday and Thursday to get your feet wet into each faction, and we'll dive in and see what the optimum builds look like as far as what other people around the Warcaster community are running and what they found to be best per faction. And hopefully we'll be able to get some of those voices on the channel. And if not, I will just kind of go off of what I've already spoken to some people about and give my perspective on that and what I would build and what I've seen in the previous tournament and what we're going to see coming up. So if you have enjoyed this little beginner tutorial series here on getting your tabletop simulator mods for the skirmish and full battle force tables, as well as the architect.net list builder, creating your forces within the tabletop simulator mod for Warcaster-Neo Mechanika, as well as getting all your forces into bags labeled and then into your army box, as well as kind of seeing what it looks like to put a cipher deck together, and you're looking forward to more in-depth analysis on all of this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see first. I do answer comments. I do look at the comments. I appreciate all of the comments, whether you believe it or not. Every little bit helps. So again, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.